Hi, and welcome to the final video on ethics, and it's about writing a good ethical conclusion and putting it down in correct arguments for the ethical test. So we're at the final part of this test. All other videos cover the introduction and the body, so please have a look at those videos if you haven't seen them yet. Right now we're going to have a look at question G in a typical seeker structure we always work in. The conclusion concerns a statement, formulate a norm that states a rule of conduct, a statement on how humans in your ethical dilemma ought to act. And after that, your arguments must be based on the body of your own analysis. So you write down nothing new, but you write it down in summarized and in a correct order in order to make sense of the pros and cons of a certain norm over another. It looks like this. It's lots of text and nothing should appear to be new if you had a proper look at previous videos. The only thing I want to explain to you is the way I'm going to grade you guys. The assessment will be based on keywords. The yellow keywords are highlighting things that are typically for the typical jargon for the ethical perspectives. And you can see that in every section of the argument, the A, B, and C section, you can see ethical jargon. First thing is typically utilitarian, the greatest happiness of the greatest number of people. And you show in your use of words that you weigh up the value of the majority in contrast to some minority members, and that supports your norm. Then you go to part B, and the counter argument, and there you can see that there's something typically deontological argument, because you hinge on free will and the severe economic pressure involved. And as a counter argument, or the refutation, you should involve, for instance, the universal law, the categorical imperative, and involve a second piece of jargon, second keyword used in deontology. Whatever you do, you can have all kinds of variations. I have two deontological arguments. This could have been two utilitarian arguments, one of Bentham, one of Mill. It could have set a different norm, but though make sure that I'm looking for your skill in applying theory and applying that spot on. You should not waver off. You should not make it into a huge story. Make it spot on, introduce some keywords, in other words jargon, and highlight the best arguments you can get out of the body of the text. If you want to know more, please have a look at the rubrics. Please consider the fact that there are lots of R questions in the test, things you should learn by heart, definitions, analytical formula, you should know them. You should jot them down at the first minute you enter the test. You should consider the fact that feelings are never an argument, so maybe you have strong feelings about the ethical case, but they're never allowed unless they are rationalized. In ethics, you can attach it to the jargon we are using, and that's in the end what I want to see. Do you understand what the greatest happiness to the greatest number of people is and how to calculate that? Do I see those tables? Do I see that you know about free will can think of that in different ways, and human dignity in order to come up with a universal law, in other words the categorical imperative? That's what I want to see. So have a look at the rubrics as their final preparation for the test, and please let me know if you have any questions left.